Hello all, welcome to oratrainings.com. In this session, we'll discuss about the DDL commands in Oracle SQL. So we know that there are when you consider the SQL, the structured query language, we have a set of commands. They are divided into multiple groups. Generally, they called as DDL, DML, as well as transaction control or DCL. In this session, we'll concentrate only on the DDL commands. Let us see the information. So in this session, we'll discuss about the below topics like object types, create, alter, drop, as well as grant and revoke. Okay, so let us start with the object type. So when you work with Oracle database, whatever the DDL commands which you want to work on, so Oracle supports these set of database object. It can vary based on the latest version of the database. Maybe if you consider the current version of the database, like a 21C or whichever version it is, you may have a few more database object, but this is one of the database which is the Oracle database, which is on 11G. So in this database, it supports these set of database here, these set of database object. Okay, as a developer, we may not deal with all databases, all database objects, but internally Oracle may use different set of database objects in for its own internal purpose. As a developer, most of the time, like here, if you observe, like these are the highlighted set of database object which we'll be using most of the times, like a table, views, materialized views, synonym, sequences, types, the PL/SQL object, the procedure function packages, triggers, and even sometimes jobs as well as indexes also. So here, if you observe the right side, the screenshot, this is screenshot from the SQL developer. If at all, if you want to find, like, let us say, I'll just show you the screenshot. So here, if you observe, like, let us say, if you want to see a particular table available in your particular database, or if you want to see the set of views which are available with a particular name, what you can do is on the connection, select your connection, expand it. It shows a list of database object types you have in your particular database, and you can let us say, if I want to see the list of tables which are starting with a particular name, I can just simply right click and click on apply filter, and I can mention the table name if you're aware of it, or if you're not aware of the table name, you can mention the like operator like this, and you can get all the tables which are starting with a particular name, EMP percentile, like this. Okay, so by this, you can explore the list of objects which are there, and also you can get all the list of properties here. If you observe, let us say I want to see the table which I created. I'll just say X6 percentile. Okay, now here, if you observe, let me see the one which I created. Okay, so let us say, if you observe this one, so here it shows the list of columns which are available, and you can see the list of action it supports, right? Like a table, you can do all the set of options like a rename, a copy, a drop, a truncate, and all these things, right? And you can see the privileges, grant and revoke. And the table, if you see, we have set of things like, mostly when you deal with the table, you most of the times you have either dropping a table or altering a table, right? As well as, here there is some other information like on the metadata properties. Okay, now, so you can explore the different set of database object types which you have it. Okay, now in our case, as session is on the DDL commands, we'll try to explore the DDL commands on the main most of the times used objects. Okay, so we'll start with the table. So when you want to create a particular object of the type table, what is the syntax we have to use it? So, and what are the general DDL commands you generally apply on the table? Okay, the major commands you apply in the table are create, alter, as well as drop. So what does a create means? Create means like a creation of a database object, or nothing but creation of a table in your database. When you create a table, where exactly it gets created? And also here, one more important thing is when you're dealing with any of the databases, you have a schema. So now if I want to know what is my schema in this one, I just need to type select user from dual. So what do you mean by schema? So a database, like a database is higher level software. In a database, you'll have a set of users. You can call them a schema. Okay, under the schema, you'll have a different database object types. Okay, now what are the object which we create, that is a part that comes under part of a particular schema. Okay, now let us say I want to create a object called create table xxotx1 with an with a column name col1 number. Now what I'm doing, so I'm creating an object with the name xxot underscore ex1, and where I'm creating this particular table in a schema. Which schema I'm creating? I'm creating in the app schema. Okay, Now, if you, how do I know that whether this particular table got created in a particular schema? You can just check out the metadata tables called all underscore tables. So in this, you just mention the object name, like where table name. You can get the information about who is the owner of it. So this owner is nothing but the schema name, okay? And the table space, these are the default things which will taken care by the database. Now coming to other one, like here, if you observe the syntax, like create table followed by the like a user defined table name followed by the list of columns, the column name as well as data type. Other one is alter. So what is the need of alter? So when you create a table, right? So when you deal with any of the database development, any project, right? In the software implementation, whenever you deal with any project, always there's a scope for enhancement, changes, modification, or scrapping, right? It may have any number of things. The same way, alter is for the purpose of adding a column, dropping a column, as well as modifying a column. So here, if you observe the examples, in the first example, I'm dealing about addition of the columns, right? Like let us say today you created a table which is having only 5 columns, but due to some requirement you want to add up some additional columns. You can use a add alter table name followed by add. In the within the parenthesis you can mention the list of columns you want to add up. And similarly, if at all, if you want to drop a column, sometimes you may have a requirement not to use any, some of the columns which of no use, and you want to drop them, right? You can drop the column. Sometimes you want to expand the size of, enhance the size of a particular column. You can just, or maybe changing the type of a particular column. You can do modify. Okay, so this is for the purpose of alter command. And coming to the drop, so like if at all, let us say if you totally want to remove the table, you can just make use of drop a table followed by the table name. Okay, now coming to the next one, the view. So what is the purpose of a view? So the purpose of a view generally, like, let us say if your table is having around large number of columns, you don't want to expose all the columns to the end user, okay, or maybe third party. You want to create a view on it so that they can see the column which they are intended to. So what is syntax? Create view followed by your particular view name as select star from a particular table. Nothing but you need to create a view on a particular query. You can mention create view followed by view name as mention the query, appropriate query name. So the view will get created. Now, how do you view it? How do you alter it? So what is the purpose of alter? Sometimes what may happen is, let us say you created a particular view on a particular set of query, and there are chances, that that particular query is also depending upon a PL/SQL function, or maybe some of the table or a column of that particular query got modified, column name got changed, or column name got dropped, or maybe some formula got changed. So in those kind of scenarios, what may happen is you need to recompile your view. So you can use the syntax alter view followed by view name and then compile. And similarly, drop view and the view name. That's it. Now coming to the other kind of view called materialized view. So there is a slight difference between a view as well as materialized view. So when you deal with a view, when you deal with a normal view, the data of the whatever the data which you see by using a view, they will never get stored with the view. The data is totally available on the tables on which the view is depending upon. But coming to the materialized view, what happens is when you create a materialized view, the data will be available within the materialized view. Even though the tables which are involved in a select query are dropped, the data in the materialized view will not be dropped. Okay, that's the difference between a materialized view as a normal view. And the syntax is similar here: alter materialized view. You just need to see the extra command called materialized. Okay, and similarly for drop, also drop materialized view and followed by the view name. Now coming to the next one, synonym. So it's kind of alias name for a particular database object. You can create a synonym for most of the database objects which are available. Okay, so maybe it's for some of the objects it may not support, but most of the object it supports a synonym. Synonym is just an alias name. Okay, sometimes you don't want to show, you don't want to refer the internal name which you generally use it, but for the outside, for the when I'm saying like outside, I mean to say like some particular third party system which you interact with the database. Sometimes you want to you want to show them with a different name. Then in those kind of scenarios, you can just generally create a synonym and share with them. Okay, and the other one is alter synonym, like same thing, like alter synonym followed by synonym name and compile. Drop synonym, just mention drop synonym and the synonym name. Coming to the other one, a sequence. So what is the purpose of a sequence? Sequence, generally we use it for the purpose of like auto generating a number, sometimes for the purpose of employee number, or maybe for row, a particular unique row ID. It can be a number of purposes. Okay, by default it increments by one, and but you can also change with a different sequence if at all, if you have a different requirement. Okay, so in those kind of scenarios you can have a functionality like you can use alter functionality to change some of the properties. It is not only that, like when you, here I'm not mentioning all the properties of alter which supports, but I just provided only some set of properties which the alter supports. on a particular object type. Okay, in this scenario I mentioned alter sequence followed by sequence name and increment by 5. What happens is by default it is intended to increment by 1, but when I change alter sequence this one, it will increment by 5. And similarly drop. So what is the purpose of a drop? To remove the object from your database. Okay, now coming to the final one, grant or revoke. So whatever the object types which we have been discussing so far, you need to have appropriate privileges so that you can either perform any of the action. Nothing but, let us say you have a user got created, but when you got a user created, it doesn't mean that he can do anything whatever you want. Nothing but you need to have appropriate privileges to access any of the database object. Okay, now let us see one example here. Now, okay, what I'll do is I'll just create a table, create table era e1. Okay, this is my table which I created with the EMP schema. Okay, select star from xx era e1. Now this table got created in the app schema. Now I have another schema in the database, same database. I have another schema. You can just see the username here. Always verify username when you're dealing with a set of different connections. Sometimes what may happen is you may have a different schema in the database, and you may have multiple projects within the same database, right? So in those kind of scenarios, always validate your usernames. Now if I try to execute, so now what it is telling, table does not exist, right? If I perform a grant, if I give a grant, how do you do it? Grant the role on a particular object. Grant select on, okay, select on to HR. Okay, now the grant got succeeded. If I go to the HR connection, if I try to re-execute, okay, can you see still it is not working, but you have to prefix with the schema name. Okay, and let us say whether the data is available or not. Let us insert and then we can check it. Insert into this one xx or underscore e1 100. Okay, now check in the HR connection, right? So we are able to see the data which is available in a different schema. Same database, but different schema. If at all, if you want to check the data from one database to another database, in those kind of scenarios, you require a database link. Okay. In this scenario, what I'm checking is I have the same database, but a different schema, different user. Okay. Now coming to the other one, revoke. So revoking is nothing but you are revoking the privileges which you have provided earlier. Okay. So in this, like when you discuss about role, you have a create, alter, the lot number of privileges you may have it. Based on that, you can perform a particular action on a particular object. Okay. So just explore the remaining functionalities we have in the database. Thank you.